very good afternoon to all the delegates present today. I would like to begin today by acknowledging the contribution of our forefathers who have helped in creating a world based on freedom and human dignity. I extend my respect to people of diverse cultures, faith, colors, and genders, and pledge to work for equity, inclusivity, peace, and harmony. I, Arunima Rawat, along with my co-host Ayush Sharma, students of DME Media School, welcome you all to the 5th technical session of the 6th edition of World's first 7-day staggered co-location conference. ICAN6 is organized by DME Media School in collaboration with the School of Communication and Creative Arts, Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia, and is sponsored by the Indian Council of Social Science Research, ICSSR. This time, ICAN6 is organized in a staggered format, which will take place at 4 different venues across India and abroad. Phase 1 will be held in Delhi Metropolitan Education, Noida, from 19 to 21st June, and Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad, on 22nd June. Phase 2 will be in Makhanlal Chaturvedi National University of Journalism and Communication, Bhopal, on 21st July, and Daffodil International University, Bangladesh, on 5th and 6th August 2023. I would like to take a moment and introduce the organizers of the conference to our audience. Delhi Metropolitan Education, DME, is an A-grade premier education institute affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, New Delhi, and approved by the Bar Council of India. DME Media School is one of the most promising media institutes in the country. It offers BA in journalism and mass communication. It is recognized as a school focused on the growth of its faculty as well as the students through academic and co-curricular activities, culture, and agenda-driven newscast with the hashtag cultural identity for diversity. ICAN6 has support from more than 21 partners. The conference partner is sponsored by ICSSR, Indian Council of Social Science Research. Conference partners are IAMCR Gen Section, GMEC Global Media Education Council. Knowledge partners are Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad, Makhanlal Chaturvedi National University of Journalism and Communication, Bhopal, Admas University, Kolkata, Institute of Applied Medicines and Research, IAMR, Ghaziabad, and Keshav Suri Foundation, KSF. International partners are Daffodil International University, Bangladesh, Institute for International Journalism, Ohio University, USA, and Beacon House National University, Pakistan. Media partners are the Policy Times, Jai Hind Times, Quick News, and News 44. ICAN6 is powered by Asian Media and Cultural Studies Network, Australia. Australia-India Film Practitioners and Researchers Network, Australia. SPARC, the Student Council of DME Media School. RIM, Research Center of DME Media School, and Richmond Fellowship Society, India, Delhi branch. Since 2018, DME Media School has been organizing the international conference ICAN. The themes for the previous editions were India and Changing Aspects of News, ICAN 1, Indian Cinema and Alternate Networks, ICAN 2, Issues of Community, Agenda and News, ICAN 3, Information, Communication and Artificial Networks, ICAN 4, Inclusivity, Convergence and Alternative Negotiations, ICAN 5. And this year, in Identity, Culture and Agenda-Driven Newscast, ICAN 6. This unique conference is conceptualized by Dr. Ambrish Saxena, Professor and Dean of DME Media School. He is the convener of ICAN 6. I request Sir to give his opening remarks.
Thank you. So we we have entered the third day of the ICAN conference, and a lot of sessions are happening every day. And then the most important thing which normally happens in any such kind of conference, that we invite papers, and those papers are presented in different technical sessions. Every time we get a good number of papers, and mostly we were having for the last 2 years the online presentation, but this time we try to make a balance between online presentations and on-site presentations, because number of scholars belong to Delhi and NCR region, and these are sessions are happening parallelly. One online session and simultaneously another on-site session is happening. So I'm glad that this year again Dr. Pooja Mahesh is with us. She is kind enough to accept our request to chair this session. Last year also she chaired one of the sessions of ICAN5, and I believe some good presentations we were having we will be having in this session, and good discussion will be taking place. So I welcome Dr. Pooja Mahesh, and looking forward to have a fruitful session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm happy to share that Journalism at DME is the official newsletter of DME Media School. This fortnightly publication covers all the major activities happening in and out of the campus. It is a student-centric newsletter. Carried out entirely by them under the supervision of faculty members. DME TV is an official YouTube channel where you can find the playlist related to all the sessions, lectures, film festivals, and conferences. For more information, DME TV is official YouTube channel. For more information, you can follow us on our social media handles and our YouTube channel, DME TV. Today, we are all here for this technical session on the topic role of consumers and digital influencers in digital advertising, branding, and marketing. I'm thrilled to discuss the dynamic and ever-evolving landscape of digital advertising, branding, and marketing. In this era of constant connectivity, the role of consumers and influencers has emerged as a powerful force shaping the success of brands. From influencing purchase decisions to driving online engagement, their impact is undeniable. Therefore, join me as we explore the symbiotic relationship between consumers, influencers, and the captivating world of digital marketing. This session will be chaired by Dr. Pooja Mahesh, Associate Professor, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Dubai, and co-chaired by Dr. Manasvi Maheshwari, Associate Convener of ICAN6 and Associate Professor, DME Media School. I would like to introduce our chair, Dr. Pooja Mahesh, to the audience. Dr. Pooja Mahesh is currently working as an associate professor at the School of Media and Communication, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Dubai. Prior to this, she was the program head for PG Diploma in Advertising and Marketing Communication and PG Diploma in Corporate Communication and Event Management at APJ Institute, Mass Communication, New Delhi. She has about 2 decades of experience in teaching, research, organizing seminars, workshops, events, conferences, and designing curricula for master's and bachelor's students of journalism and mass communication. She has also supervised PhD scholars. She has presented papers at various international conferences, including International Communication Association, Asian Media and Information and Communication Center, and Communication and Media Studies Conference, to name a few. She has also published papers in various international and national journals. Now, I hand over this session to our co-chair, Dr. Manasvi Maheshwari, Associate Professor, DME Media School, to begin the session.
Thank you, Arunima. Thank you. I'll start with, thanking Dr. Pooja Mahesh. She has joined us today, and she is she's an expert who will help you give good feedback on your papers, on your research things. And this session, like the anchor also told, it's about role of consumer and influencers in digital advertising, branding, and marketing. So without wasting much time, I think I'll start with the first presentation with the permission of the chair. And I would just want to request everyone that please be careful about the time limit. You are supposed to, screen share, and I've given you the rights. In case you have any problem, you can write in the chat box. And Arunima and Ayush, please take care of the time and give the, at 5 minutes, you can just write a message in the chat box. Dr. Pooja, we can start the session. We are good to go. So Anupama Upadhyay, you can switch on your camera. And this paper title is Impact of Influencer Marketing on Consumer Behavior and Brand Perception. Anupama Upadhyay and co-authored by Dr. Shweta Priya, Professor and Assistant Director at Amity School of Communication, Amity University, Patna, Bihar. Anupama, you can start your presentation.
Okay, ma'am, I'm sharing my screen. Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, you are. Yes.
Thank you. With the prior permissions of the chair, I'd like to start my presentation. Good morning, everyone. My name is Anupama Upadhyay, and the topic of my presentation is Impact of Influencer Marketing on Consumer Behavior and Brand Perception. The university I belong to is Amity University, Patna. The research paper is guided and co-authored by Shweta Priya ma'am, Assistant Director, Amity University, Patna. I would like to start my presentation with a brief introduction about the research topic that I have chosen. The research paper aims at finding out the effect of influencer marketing on customer and brand perception. As our anchor Arunima rightly said, that the influencers have a lot of power of persuading people, and it is undeniable. Exactly. On that only, I have started my research, and for the aim that I have chosen is understanding how influencers effectively communicate with their followers, because we know that the impact of influencer on the followers that they are following is undeniable, and also it affects the purchasing decision of the consumers. We will also further look into the image and legitimacy, loyalty of customers towards the brand, and also how they perceive and how they see the brand they are following. Influencer marketing has evolved as a significant business technique. This is also a very important factor of my research paper, that it is undeniable, and the impact and significance of influencer marketing in today's dynamic marketing field is a lot, and it is being used as an important technique. We all know that the market that influencer and the brand work is not isolated, and therefore it is a dynamic market. And for that, influencers with humongous social media followers are used as a tool for promotions. The reach diversity of influencers helps in reaching out a specific target audience. For pinpointing a specific target audience for a brand or an organization, it is very easy to identify an influencer according to which the traits are aligning with the brand, and they can just go about it. Consumer behavior is the process through which people make decisions about purchase, use, disposal of products and services. Consumer, however, has changed significantly with the advent of internet. Obviously, the advent of internet has changed a lot of dynamics, whether it's about the business, how it opens and how it operates in this dynamic market. Also, whether it's the consumers, how they are actually making decisions about the purchase. It has altered how customers perceive, access, and interact with the business. Before, if we see the traditional way of marketing, it wasn't easy for customers to interact and give their feedback with the businesses or a brand they're interacting to. But now, with the change in the paradigm, they can also give their feedback. Now, I have chosen 6 literature of review, and those are the impact of social influence on brand trust and recognition. This particular review of literature was really very interesting, because at the end, the conclusion said that really there are a lot of people in the world, not only in India, but outside the world. It has impacted a lot of people in making decision for the brands they like, for the followers that they are going about it. So this particular research was really interesting because it reveals a lot of dynamics about the influencer, and also they align with the marketing. Effect of social influence on consumer purchase intensity and mediating role of credibility. This particular research has already said that the effect of social media influences on consumers is a lot. There was a very interesting thing that I got to know with this research, is that while making decision, consumers always go through the influencer they're following. For example, there's a person who likes a lot of technical and appliances, electronic appliances. So for that, they'll find a particular influencer who is engaging in the appliances or technical things, and they'll read and they will listen to what they have to say about that particular brand, and maybe that words and their informations can change, or they lead to further credibility and the brand perception that they are having on brands. Further, the effect of influencer marketing on consumers, brands, admiration, and online purchase intention and emerging market perspective. This particular research was a lot of informative for my research, because through this research paper, I got to know about the intention of the consumer while making purchase decision online. The emerging market perspective, this particular thing was really new about how I would be directing my research towards the effect and perspective of the brand, how they see the brand. So it was also very useful because it gave me the understanding of intention of how consumers see the brand. Fourth one is influencer marketing effect on brand perception. This particular research was all about the brand perception, how actually the customers or the consumers are actually viewing the brand because of how influential it is. Like the influencer marketing is very influential, and they can also help in shaping the customers' views and opinions about a brand. Now, there are three objectives that I had in my mind while researching about the topic that I have chosen. First is how and why the impact of influencer is getting on the marketing, on the consumer behavior and brand perception, to analyze and understand the importance of it. The second was how the consumers feel and act towards a brand. For example, the loyalty, the credibility, how they feel and how they see a brand. Because of that, it is very important to understand if a consumer is loyal or trustworthy about a brand or not. The third one was that I extend to I wanted to understand how, and it was how far it can go, the extent of which marketing can be influenced by the influencers online, and how they can influence the purchasing decision of the customers. It is very important that what I have chosen as my methodology. First is quantitative method, data analysis, and questionnaire design. I have included questionnaire design because to understand the perception and the psyche of the consumer, it's very important to deep dive in the minds of theirs. Now it comes, the important aspect of my research is data analysis. The characteristics of respondents in this study include sex, age, education level, and the occupation. The first graph or the chart that you are viewing on your screen says that there was 46.3 male participants, whereas the female participants were 53.7%. The second says that I actually spread out my questionnaire to a lot of people, but shockingly, there were students, 72.2% students who filled this questionnaire. Next, here comes that the first graph that you are viewing says that there were 59.3% people who said that they come across influencer marketing content on social media multiple times a day. Multiple times a day, that means the social media is flooded with the content of influencers, and for that they are actually influencing their psyche, how they're viewing the product or the brand. The second graph says that I actually added this question: do you believe that influencer marketing has influenced your purchasing decision positively? And shockingly, there were 46.3% respondents who agreed with this question. That means, yes, their purchasing decision is actually affected by the influence of the influencer that they're following. Second was that I wanted to understand how and if they are recommending the brand that they are following because of the influencer they follow online. So is it important, or is it any by chance that they'll recommend that particular brand? So yes, there were 40.7% people who said that yes, they're likely to recommend the brand that they're following. Then there comes the second question, that are they going to follow or engage any content which is related to influencer marketing? And there were 38.9% participants who said that they were neutral, and they said that yes, they may engage, or they cannot also engage with this.
Anupama, I'm sorry
Yes,
to interrupt in between. You have to come to your conclusion. You have 1 minute to go.
Okay, ma'am. Next is my conclusion only. So for concluding, I'd like to say that yes, influencer marketing has influenced a lot of purchasing decision of the people. And also it is important to understand that the youth of today's are not blindly following the influencers. They go about it and they search about the product and then they act upon it. So persuading consumers is not easy. But yes, they are persuading a lot of people, but there are also youth who are not blindly following the brands that is influenced or that is recommended by the influencers online. It is very important to carefully select the influencer who ensure authenticity and credibility. So for concluding, I'd like to say that the impact is really very undeniable of influences on consumers, and it is very important to carefully select the influencers we are going to follow online. Thank you so much. These are the differences. Thank you.
Thank you. You can just stop sharing the screen.
Okay, ma'am.
I request Dr. Pooja. It's not stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, first of all, I would like to commend Anupma for the study that you have taken, which is very topical, influencer marketing. But there are a few questions which I want to ask. While I was going through your abstract, I realized in the first line only you have mentioned influencer marketing on customer behavior. So I think you are aware of the difference between customer and consumer, and
yes,
are not using that interchangeably.
No, ma'am. I'm very understandable.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you should not be using customer behavior. You should have used consumer behavior only. So that correction you should make in your abstract.
Okay.
Now, other thing is that in the second objective, you have mentioned brand credibility and trustworthiness. So brand credibility and trustworthiness, it's one and the same thing. So it's redundant to talk about it unless you have something else in mind.
Okay.
Then other thing is that in terms of the questionnaire designing, in terms of the research methodology that you have chosen, so you have only done survey, or you have done any other?
Ma'am, I've done surveys and also have analyzed the content online that were present related to the topic that I have chosen.
So online content, when you say in terms of like how did you do that?
Okay, ma'am, I went on the Google and just wrote what I had planned in my mind that I'll research about this particular topic. So there were a lot of content, the articles were present online. There were a lot of articles on LinkedIn as well. There were blogs related to this particular topic. So I analyzed no, I will not say every topic and article that I came across, but I analyzed 10 topics and there were 4 articles and 3 LinkedIn articles that I found. So the content analysis I've done in that process only.
Okay. Again, I'll give you suggestion here that because you are saying that you Googled that.
Yes.
Now Google, there is mammoth information available on Google,
Yes,
and
sure.
Googling will not help you narrow down on the research. So since you have already bottled down on what you want to do, so rather than Googling and referring only to the articles, that cannot be part of your research method. Ideally, when you are saying, because what you are mentioning is it's more part of the review of literature rather than the research method.
Yes.
So one that you have taken, which is a questionnaire design, which you have used, like you have chosen survey as your research method, and wherein you have used questionnaire.
Yes, ma'am.
That's one method you have used. Other than that, you should go for one more method in order to get concrete results. And what I also understand is that you have only taken 10 questions which are directed to the customer directly. So which will not help you get further insights about the topic which you have in mind. Because when you limit your, when you put your questions as yes and no, so that doesn't serve much of the purpose. So what I see is that in the questionnaire also, your questions are majorly yes and no. So they should be more elaborate to bring about more insight about the topic. Another thing is that any theoretical perspective you have taken, based on any theoretical framework, the study. Did you look at any theories of communication related to your topic while you came to this?
No, ma'am, I didn't came across any theories, so I have to read upon that.
Okay, so you can read about two-step flow theory, and then work further on this research.
Ma'am, I have read the theory of mass communication, like you right now said. I read that, but I didn't actually interlink this.
Yeah, you have to interlink it to your study.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Pooja. Thank you, Anupama. And even I have that opinion that you need to connect to the theoretical perspective. That is major thing missing. And of course, the scales which you are using for the questionnaire. Thank you so much. Then we have the next presenter, Radhika. Are you here? The topic is Digital Clothing Brand in India, Building a Successful Launch Strategy. Radhika Yadav, student from NIFT Panchkula, and co-author Dr. Ritika Saxena, Assistant Professor, NIFT Panchkula. Radhika?
Yes, ma'am, I'll be presenting my screen.
Yes, please.
Is it visible?
Yes, you can start.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Radhika, a Master of Design graduate from NIFT Panchkula, and I'm delighted to have this opportunity to present my research paper on the topic Digital Clothing Brand in India, Building a Successful Launch Strategy, under the guidance of Dr. Ritika Saxena, Assistant Professor from Department of Design Space. Let me take you through the introduction. So digital clothing basically refers to a range of different products and garments available in virtual form made from pixels instead of textiles. And this trend originated from video games. And brands are now investing in emerging technologies with a particular interest in Metaverse. Metaverse, again, it is a virtual 3D platform where people gather to shop or play or work. And so this is offering unique opportunities for the fashion industry. In India, local labels such as Papa Don't Preach by Shubhika and Manish Malhotra and other gaming industries have the potential to lead the way in shaping the metaverse. My research aim is to develop the marketing launch strategy for a digital clothing brand in India. The objectives are to examine the scope of digital clothing in India, to study the existing market of digital clothing, to examine the competitors and suggest marketing launch strategies. Coming to the literature review analysis, the growth of digital clothing and the metaverse have brought significant changes to the fashion industry, such as offering sustainability and then allowing consumers to participate in the latest trends without any environmental damages. India faces challenges in terms of limited awareness and adoption. The metaverse also presents an opportunity for brands to reach new markets and engage with consumers through virtual experiences. AR and VR again technologies play a crucial role in developing the metaverse. Overall, the integration of technology and innovation in the fashion industry has opened up new possibilities and challenges that brands must navigate to thrive in the digital era. I have come across the two theories, which are technology adoption model, which I'll be using to identify my potential target audience, and then theory of planned behavior to predict and understand the consumer's behavior. This is my research design method. First, I have done the brand analysis and then the review of literature, and simultaneously I have done the web survey, including competitive analysis, social media analysis. From review of literature, I've come to know about the theoretical framework, technology adoption model, and theory of planned behavior. Going forward, I've used a mixed method approach. In qualitative method, I've conducted an in-depth interviews. My sampling type of sampling is purposive, and the sample size was 8. The demographics included fashion professionals with expertise in digital fashion, then the metaverse or Web3 experts, then the fashion design students, and the teachers. Going forward, questionnaire survey, my sampling type was snowball, and which was to categorize the audience segments through technology adoption model and to understand participants' attitudes, intentions, and behavior towards the digital clothing. Sample size was 231, and the SPSS statistic analysis was conducted. This is my analysis framework. So the first chart, as you can see, my survey questions were based on attitude, subjective norms, perceived control behavior, intention, and behavior. The next chart, on the basis of these two analyses, method triangulation and the web survey, including competitive analysis, web UX, and social media analysis, with these two brand analysis and this particular analysis, a marketing strategy will be developed. I've conducted in-depth interview analysis, a diverse range of participants to understand the different viewpoints and which audience best suits the marketing strategy. So I've come across that they have moderate to low awareness regarding this, and they prefer physical garments, but also acknowledge the growing role of digital clothing. None of them have purchased digital clothing and agree upon aggressive buying. They are interested in customization option or trying AR, VR filters if offered, and sustainability is an important factor. The designers and entrepreneurs suggested that aligning with the traditional fashion brands will be a new, will have a great opportunity for this new thing to consider. The key challenges were that the consumer awareness, adoption, their trust, and the experts also suggested to go with the practical experiences, leveraging social media platforms, flexible distribution options for easy accessibility. This is my questionnaire survey findings. The demographic included age and gender. These questions were related to the attitude or awareness on regarding the metaverse and the digital clothing, and if anyone have heard about the digital clothing brands. The subjective norm question were to understand the psychology of the participants. The perceived control behavior questions were to understand what kind of products or experiences would be appealing to them, and what are their sustainability thinking. This is the intention. Regarding the intention, the questions were to understand how immediately they would like to buy a new product that enters into the market, and will they be interested in wearing or trying the digital clothes, and and what platforms would they like to wear it, for example, on the what kind of metaverse or the Web3. The behavior questions were all about to understand how much amount are they willing to spend on digital clothes, and in how depth they watch the advertisements on social media, and are they into esports or online gaming. So the analysis after categorizing in innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, and laggards using the technology adoption model. The innovators exhibited a high level of awareness and acceptance. The early adopters showed a positive attitude and recognized the potential benefits. Early majority, they had exhibited moderate awareness and acceptance. A late majority, they were their awareness and acceptance was very low. And laggards, they were resistant to change and expressed a strong preference for traditional clothing styles. I've conducted a SWOT analysis on digital clothing product, which is to understand the potential areas of improvement as well as the strengths of the product. I've also conducted SWOT analysis on digital clothing brands, the existing digital clothing brands in India and internationally. Coming to the competitive analysis, I've conducted a social media and web analysis to access better insights into the strengths and digital marketing practices of the brand's competitor and identify possible opportunities for differentiation. I have taken two brands. I've considered two brands, ICAN6, which is based in India, and DressX, which is based in Los Angeles. And on the parameters, I have considered brand positioning, their target audience, marketing strategies, etc. These are their Instagram social media handle. This is the web analysis, and I have conducted on the parameters of their average page visits, site bounce rate, navigation, UX design, color palette, etc., which was done through SEMrush. The web analysis overall, both the brands had a clean layout and fashion forward design with also futuristic visual design, and they had a monochromatic professional aesthetic. And coming to the usability, they had both the brands' websites had intuitive navigation structure. It was very easily accessible to the consumers, and both websites demonstrated a weak foundation for organic and paid search traffic in India. This is the domain overview of the DressX brand, which I've collected from SEMrush. And this brand uses organic search keywords, and they have a good amount of keywords on their website. This is the domain overview of ICAN6. So this is the, going forward, this is the digital clothing popularity in India. As you can see, the interest over time, and Maharashtra is the state with high popularity.
Radhika, aapko conclude karna hoga, please.
On it.
Come to the conclusion part. Yeah.
Coming to the conclusion and suggestions, limited awareness and adoption of digital clothing in India. And through the examination of my mixed method research, it has demonstrated that digital clothing has a huge potential in near future. And the marketing strategies that leverage various platforms such as social media, website, influencer marketing, targeted online advertising to reach and engage its target audience effectively. So the suggestions include the marketing strategy of a digital clothing brand shall be based on IDA model for different audience segments of the technology adoption model, where the focus audience segment would be innovators, early adopters, and early majority. That is all for the presentation. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Radhika. I request Chair to.
Yeah, wonderful, Radhika. Very good job, excellent job. Like, I mean, the points which I had written to ask by the end of the presentation, almost you had covered most of it. I was going to ask you about SWOT analysis because you had mentioned about the competition. So good, you have covered that as much. Just I wanted to find one thing, which is you have mentioned in the first line only, you will be focusing on the clothing brand Bitten Apple. But I guess you have taken two brands now, right?
No, ma'am. The focus is only on Bitten Apple. So I did my internship with them, and this was my dissertation thesis for my master's.
So, but I guess you took one company of India and one of US.
Yes.
Or their branch only in India and US.
No, one brand is based on from Chennai, which is ICAN6, and one brand is in the US, DressX. So they have they basically.
So they are Bitten Apple's client, or how is it? Like, how is the relationship?
Bitten Apple is just a new brand which is making its place in India, especially, and they are going to launch this brand. So I have done a study on how we can launch this Bitten Apple brand by looking to
the competition.
Yes, about the competitors and the whole about if they are going to launch it online. So to study about their website and how much traffic do they get and everything.
Okay, so based on all that you have done, you have proposed them a marketing strategy in terms of how they need to go about it, right?
Right.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Radhika. So the next presentation we have is on the topic Changing Business Models Post-Pandemic, an analysis, Drishti Vinayak, and Dr. Sanjay Mohan Johari, Professor and Director, Amity School of Communication, Amity University, Lucknow.
Ma'am, should I share my screen?
Yes, please share your screen.
Just let me know when you're able to see my screen.
It's working. It will just start. I think I can see. Yes, it's working.
Yeah.
You have to change the mode. Now it is fine.
Yeah. So a very good afternoon to everyone presenter, our honorable chair, vice chair, and to all the participants in this meeting. My name is Drishti Vinayak and I'm a student from Amity School of Communication. I am here today to present my research paper on changing business models post-pandemic analysis, which is authored by me, and it's co-authored by our director, Professor Dr. Sanjay Mohan Johari sir. Now, this is the content of the presentation. So let's start with the introduction. With the advent of COVID, or with the coming up of COVID, all of us know that we went into the work from home model and many business operations were altered. If I give you some examples, then we had the online education system, then different sectors went into the online mode. Some YouTube companies like Filter Copy, they started making videos online. Bollywood celebrities went into the online mode, and with the help of social media, we were able to see how they are living their lives in the work from home environment. Then the second business model that I had focused on was the digital transformation of businesses. So now digital transformation of businesses is something that happened before COVID also, but after COVID, it got a boost. I would just list down some examples. So first of all, the biggest example that we have for digital transformation is UPI. UPI was there, of course, but Paytm, it got a boost during the COVID. Then we have the cloud kitchen systems. Many companies who had physical stores previously, they get converted into the cloud kitchen system. I will just cite an example for cloud kitchen. So here in Gurgaon, Boxit is a very famous example of cloud kitchen. Then many brands started their, digital media, social posts. For example, Oberoi Hotels and Resorts, they started to launch their online campaigns. We had different brands like fashion brands, luxury brands. They started their digital content pieces. Then there's an app called Practo. Initially, we used to, go to the doctor for consultations, but now after the digital mode of businesses, Practo, like apps like Practo came into existence. So moving forward, this is just a brief introduction on this slide. Work from home model was something which was, I think, undertaken by all the organizations and companies except a few, like journalism and the last mile industry. Also, many new apps also came into existence. Many new launches and inventions came into existence, like Slack and Workday, to track the employees' performance, to track how many hours the employee is actually working, etc. So basically, the two business models that I have focused on through this introduction part is number one, the work from home model / the remote working culture, and the other is the digital transformation of businesses. Moving ahead, literature review. So my literature review was divided into two parts, primary and secondary. My target audience was the working professionals, the people who are working in the actual industry. And I have majorly focused on marketing industries, advertising industries, e-commerce industries, etc. And my secondary, so the primary literature review that I got was from them only, their responses, how they are, getting adapted to this new lifestyle or this new business model. And the secondary review was with the help of the papers, the websites that I've gone through on Google. I also refer to the users and gratification media theory, because I feel audience today is the landscape of digital, and as much as a digital content we'll give to them, they'll be more gratified with our content which is coming their ways. Then moving forward, so these were some of the objectives of my research work. First was to decipher, like, the simplified objective, whether these models have undergone a change or not. Then what are the new techniques that companies have opted to sustain this model. Then some organizations have come back into the physical mode. So are the employees willing to go back to the work from home culture? Then some organizations are there which are still in the work from home culture. So, like, how is it impacting the employees' performance? And lastly, to analyze the future of digital transformation of businesses. Then methodologies. So the method that I adopted for this research work was a mixed method. It was a blend of qualitative and quantitative. For qualitative, I did a focused group discussion with employees from Denso Creative Gurgaon and Zip Electric Gurgaon. Denso Creative is an advertising agency and Zip Electric is a last mile company. Then the third was in-person and telephonic interviews. Now telephonic interviews were also conducted with people who are acting both as students and working professionals, since I am one of them. So during my course of semester, my last semester in the college, I was placed at Denso Creative. I was placed in this advertising agency. So I contacted both working professionals and students plus working professionals. Then the questionnaire method, which was the quantitative analysis. So I had a mix of both open-ended and close-ended questions for audience to be specific in their answers. My sample size for questionnaire was 125 and my sample size inclusive of FGD and interviews was 30. FGD was 15. I had employees from here and in person, some face-to-face and some telephonic. Then what are the findings? So from all the three methodologies that I have applied to this research work, my first finding about the work from home model was that nowadays employees are not willing to go back to the work from home culture, but they are willing to go back to the hybrid working culture. Now, hybrid working culture is something which is inclusive of 2 days work from home and 3 days work from office. So this was a new business model that companies are adopting. Many agencies here in Denso Creative, they are also, doing 2 days work from home and 3 days work from office. So hybrid working culture was one thing. I also figured the pros and cons of this work from home model. Pros was ki employees were able to work productively. They had their own comfort zone. Flexibility was there. Cost saving, electricity saving, commuting saving. Cons were that for us freshers, we want an environment which is corporate friendly to get into that routine, to get into that lifestyle, etc. Then for the digital transformation of businesses, I had two major findings. First was that we have to maintain a balance between the traditional and digital marketing methods. For example, newspapers. So we have the print also, and then we have the e-portals also. So they are maintaining a balance between the traditional and the digital marketing methods. And then digital is the upcoming landscape. We'll be having virtual boards, we'll be having AI, we'll be having machine learning algorithms, etc. So these are some of the screenshots that I have placed on my slide, which was basically the questionnaire that I have did. I would just take you through the slide one. So I had some questions like, what do you prefer more, work from home, work from office, etc. Then do you think that flexibility to work can create laziness? So I had some options out of which people selected that it depends on person to person. Then has work from home increased your purchasing power, because obviously you're saving on commuting and etc. So yes, people also reacted to that in that manner only. Then do you think work from home? Now here people also reacted yes to the fact that work from home adds to their own competencies also and their organizational competencies also, because they're able to work productively. So these are just some of the analysis that I got from the questionnaire. Now the main point of the research is that are my objectives fulfilled? So conclusion. So first of all, yes, business models have definitely gone a revamp in terms of the working culture, that is work from home / remote or hybrid working culture, and then the digital model, because almost every brand, almost every organization has now started to do digital marketing. Thrift stores on Instagram. I think somebody before me was talking about digital clothing. So thrift stores have gained a lot of importance on social media platforms like Instagram. Then majorly all the employee workforce demands for, that's what I've reiterated through the entire presentation, that the biggest finding for the work from home model was that people want a hybrid working culture, and for the digital transformation was that yes, it's the landscape, it's the coming landscape, but we have to maintain a balance between the digital marketing and traditional marketing. Then I also, through my research work, I got some pros and cons of work from home and hybrid working culture about reducing interruptions. There's no commuting stress. Then you have your own environment to work in, you have your own comfort zone. But on the other hand, this flexibility, which was a con, that this flexibility can also lead to you working more, because then the employers will think that you are in your comfort zone, so they will obviously expect you to do more work. And lastly, AI will shape the future. That is about the digital transformation. We already have platforms like ChatGPT, which majority of the companies are using for their day-to-day operations. And now I've added some statistics in the last slide to just back up that yes, 82% of the respondents preferred working from home. This is a statistic which was done, this is a research which was done during the COVID time, but my research spoke about how employees are now willing to go into the hybrid working culture. And I feel there are certain companies in Bangalore who have started to, take this thing into account that you do 2 weeks work from home and then you do 2 weeks work from office. So yes, that's about it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank
for
you.
your
You can
time.
just stop sharing the screen, Drishti.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
I request Dr. Pooja to give her feedback.
Yeah. So,
Is my
good, Drishti, interesting to know. Yeah, you wanted to study business models, right? Now, one thing which I want to say is that the model you have, which you are taking for the theoretical framework, you have mentioned uses in gratification theory, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I fail to understand how you are relating it to this topic. Because gratification is basically rewards and satisfaction that you achieve out of the use of media. So I don't know how you are trying to relate it to this. So you may have to relook at it. That is one thing. And another question was that you had mentioned about this study. Like, are you relating it to specific industry?
No, ma'am. I have different industries in mind. That education industry is there, then marketing and advertising industry is there. We have the e-commerce industry. So there are different industries that I have taken into account. And yes.
So that is a suggestion here, Drishti, because you have taken so many industries into consideration now. It's difficult to collate because each industry has a different set of requirement. So you cannot say based on one industry that other industry can also go with the hybrid kind of a culture. Maybe one industry can go altogether online also. So that is another suggestion. So you should base your study based on specific industry rather than being generic about it. Then other thing what I understand is that you are talking about the business model. The topic is changing business models post-pandemic, but you are giving the insight from the consumer point of view rather than from the businessman's point of view or the business point of view. So the suggestion is either you change the topic, keeping in mind the study that you have conducted, or else you bring in the point and which will be a good research that you take the inputs, do an in-depth interview from the people in the industry. Like, I mean, for example, I'm the one who's owning that company. So take my view as a management view and also take the consumer view. So
yes, ma'am. Can I add something?
Yeah.
Ma'am, the insights that I've added in my research work are the insights from the professionals who are working in the industry. So like you said that I have to keep my research not generic, but restricted to a certain industry. So I focused on the advertising industry in specific, and the research, the insights that I've added in this particular presentation are from the employees or from the managers or from the management who are working in this industry, and also noted on the consumer point of view.
Yeah, so in that case, if you have already done that, probably then you need to present your research in a manner that it is clear that you are talking from the management perspective and from the consumer perspective, and you are limiting yourself only to the advertising agency, right? Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So I've received Kavya's presentation. I will be taking her next. The topic of her presentation is YouTube advertising and its advantages for customer targeting. Kavya Rangan from Amity School of Communication, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, co-authored by Dr. Arina Zaid Mirza, Assistant Professor at Amity University. Are you people here? Kavya, can you just come on screen? You are here. Thank you. And give me a second. I'll just share the screen. All right, is this visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
You can start.
Good afternoon, respected chair members, my fellow presenters, and everyone else present in the conference. My topic for the presentation is YouTube advertising and its advantages for customer targeting. I did my research on the topic, and here is my presentation on the same. So I'll take you through it. So a brief introduction on the topic. So YouTube has been a continuously rising platform in the past few years and is one of the most highly streamed platforms on internet right now. Most of the people use YouTube for entertainment purposes, for education purposes, for infotainment, and many else. But this study analyzes the effect of YouTube advertising as an efficient tool for targeting customers. So it focuses on the benefits of YouTube advertising for customer targeting and aims to understand the method of client targeting and understand how small businesses can benefit from it, along with making sure that their customers are aware of their brand, are loyal to it, and remain loyal to it in the future. It can also help you. This paper will also discuss how YouTube advertising can help brands reach their TG and build brands people know and are loyal to. So the objectives of my research are understanding the advertising targeting process on YouTube, understanding the benefits of audience targeting on YouTube and over other social media platforms and how it is better on YouTube, evaluating the effectiveness of YouTube customers by analyzing metrics such as click-through rate, engagement, and conversion rates. So for this research, I did an extensive literature review, which studied various journals and research papers published on Google Scholar as well as other publishing websites. The first study by Deakin Smith and another et al., which is on the topic longitudinal study of digital marketing strategies targeting millennials. Mainly, it talks about YouTube advertising as an efficient tool for targeting customers and examines the benefits of YouTube advertising for targeting customer. It aims to assess YouTube advertising efficiency as a method of client targeting and recognize the advantages of YouTube audience targeting over other social media channels. It also discusses how YouTube advertising can help brands reach the TG and understand how brands can make their TG loyal to them. The second study focuses on examining the impact of YouTube advertising in attracting young customers and explores the influence on their consumer behavior of YouTube and the content created on YouTube.
Kavya, I would suggest that we come to the exact data collection, data analysis, and not talk about literature review, methodology.
Sure.
Yeah, otherwise there'll be less time for you to explain. So we'll come to methodology.
Yes. So the methodology I adopted for my research was a mixed method approach, where I did a case study on a upcoming organic makeup brand called Nayan Organics. It's a small business entering the market as a natural, organic, and environmentally conscious brand. And the second method was a structured survey, studying the customer interaction pattern of 50 respondents with YouTube ads, types of ads, and the effect on the buying behavior. The survey also studies the knowledge people have about YouTube ads and how YouTube ads can help other businesses grow in the market. So my findings from the same are, ma'am, can you please move on to the next slide? Yes. So for Nayan Organics, we found that the brand had definitely increased their brand visibility via advertising on YouTube as a platform. So their strategy was to create videos around content videos around explaining their product and its uses and how to utilize it in real life. They adopted local influencers who were known faces among the community the brand was advertising to and were more trustworthy than well-known influencers with a large following on Instagram. And that created a very organic footprint for the brand in YouTube advertising and made people trust the brand more and relate to it more. We had enhanced customer engagement, and Nayan Organics effectively was able to educate their audience on about their products and how their products work and how it can be beneficial for them as well as the other TG. These are the survey that I did for the with the respondents, 50 respondents about YouTube ads, and the behavior on the same. My conclusion from the survey is that people have a high interaction rate with ads, with 98% of them watching them and 46% clicking on them knowingly, and 82% aware of the ad type. Targeting ads based on Google researches often don't reflect buying ability or demands, but make the people understand the content consumed on YouTube and how it is consumed. Respondents did not have any specific feelings about targeted YouTube ads and did not prefer it or negate it, but it was a consistent thing that was happening with them while they were watching YouTube videos, and they were getting aware about it. But 50% of the people believe that YouTube advertising is more effective than traditional methods, showing the importance of brand accessibility on platforms like social media so that people can get to know more about it. And the budget friendliness of YouTube as an advertising platform was acknowledged by 62% of respondents, especially for small businesses. The limitations for data, time, and money. The analysis could have been continued for a longer period in the post-COVID scenario and would have given us a better idea. The study is confined to one geographical location, and a holistic research would give us better ideas about the same. The recommendations for my study are: YouTube advertisers should prioritize brand storytelling over gimmicky advertising and CTA-driven advertising, where they focus only on promoting their product and buying them. Instead, they should tell their customers about the brand ethos, because that is what people in today's day connect well to, and talk about, instead of just about the brand, the amount that the brand is spending on advertising and several other things. And brands should gather data about customers and their understandability of YouTube advertisement as well as their products, so that the advertising they're doing is not just promotional in nature, but also educative.
Thank you, Kavya. I request Dr. Pooja to give her feedback.
Yeah, so Kavya, you had focused your case study, and your survey is based, both are based on Nayan Organics only, right?
No, ma'am. My case study is based on Nayan Organics, an upcoming organic beauty brand, and my survey is done on 50 respondents. It uses the process of convenience sampling and analyzes the data collected from these 50 respondents, asking questions about their demographics, their interaction with YouTube ads, their
sorry to interrupt. Did you, in the demographics, what is the range that you were looking for, the age group?
Ma'am, age groups were anywhere between 18 to 65, but the major demographic that worked was between 25 to 34 years old.
Okay, because I mean, in terms of the range that you have taken, 18 to 25 and 18 to 65, it's a wide range, and while you're focusing on digital, on YouTube advertising in particular, so, and you have taken only 50 respondents, right? So which is a very low number, because anyways 50 you have taken, out of that not all would have responded, I'm sure.
So 50 respondents gave their complete responses.
Okay, so still 50 is less to, you know, conclude the study, so you can increase the number of respondents. And did you limit yourself only to YouTube advertising by Nayan Organics, or they are into other digital marketing also?
So Nayan Organics is of course on social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook as well. They have their page on LinkedIn where they promote their products and connect with their business from a business aspect.
Okay, so how can you gauge that whatever the leads have come in, or whatever the way they have targeted the customers, it is through YouTube only, right?
So I'm considering,
because they are into overall digital marketing, right?
No, I only studied the data from their YouTube advertising. Nayan Singh is actually a friend of mine, so she was very helpful in getting me the data that she was gathering through the advertising she was doing on YouTube. Overall, I understood that YouTube advertising was one of the major platforms for beauty brands specifically, because beauty brands need to focus on not just their product, but their usage and how they can convince the customers the product is good, which comes after a trial and error method for a lot of upcoming brands in the market. So Nayan Organics, with the use of YouTube advertising and video advertising, was able to establish that trust with their customers. And with the help of local influencers, they were also able to convince their customers that they were not selling their product, but also selling a holistic idea in general that was based on organic and environment conscious beauty.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Kavya. Just one last thing is that since you are saying that it works well for beauty, that's good, but it should be based on the facts while you are claiming this information. So either you would have done a lot of researches on beauty brands itself, because you are talking about the case study, then back it with a review of literature that it has worked well for beauty brands.
Yes. My previous research was on beauty brands only. I studied several different beauty brands and did a comparative analysis of their content on several social media platforms. It was a study I did in my previous semester, so I can vouch that beauty brands do benefit from YouTube advertising and social media advertising.
Oh, definitely. But you should back it with the proper statistics and yeah.
Thank you, Kavya. Thank you, ma'am. Our next presenter for the day is Manasvi Gupta. Our topic is to study the perception of consumers towards digital marketing. And it is co-authored, the paper is co-authored by Dr. Arina Mirza, Assistant Professor, Amity School of Communication, Amity University. Manasvi, can you please share your screen?
Yes, ma'am.
So we are sharing the same name.
Is it visible?
Yes, it is. Start.
Is it visible?
It is visible, and you can start and just focus on the objectives, methodology, and conclusion.
Sure, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Manasvi Gupta, and I'm here to present my research paper before you to study the perception of consumers towards digital marketing, which is authored by me and co-authored by Dr. Arina Zainab Mirza, ma'am. Introduction. In the era of globalization, digital marketing has experienced a considerable transformation. E-marketing has been increasingly popular in recent years, especially during pandemics when most people relied on online shopping. Even the way in which business present or market themselves and how customers reach as a result of the internet have also altered. Although traditional marketing is not fully fade away, but more individuals are connecting with digital marketing, as a result of which they may save time, energy, and have easy access to the internet usage. Literature review. During research paper, I've gone through a few papers to analyze that what else need to be researched and what my objective should be for my research. There are the few research paper, and primary were the from the research paper, and the secondary were the views of common people had additionally performed a crucial role. All through my undertakings, their angles helped me in bringing out matters and extra content material for my research paper. The discussions, the telephonic interviews, focus group discussions, the Google Form surveys were the secondary part. Objective of the study were to study the perception of consumers with regards to the easy accessibility of online marketing, to comprehend the implication of the merits and demerits from the customer's point of view, and to comprehend the implications of the challenges faced by consumers using digital marketing, to study the consumers' perceptions of the efficiency of digital marketing as a platform of marketing communication channels, and to ascertain consumers' perception about success rate of marketing in terms of investment. During research methodology, I have used both quantitative and qualitative methods. So it was a mixed research methods, which was implemented while analyzing the data. The sample technique used in my research were convenient sampling and purposive sampling. And the sampling size for my research paper was 102 responses. Convenient sampling was used in conducting surveys through Google Form, where I've collected around 102 responses, and telephonic interviews was purposive, where I have taken the interviews from two people from the age group of like 18 to 25 years. And I've also conducted a focused group discussions with 7 people to learn what others' perspective are on my research topic. These are the few data analysis which I've collected, and I've collected around 100 plus responses, where most of the responses were filled by age group of between 18 to 35 consumers who use digital marketing. These responses help me in analyzing the perception of consumers towards digital marketing. According to the survey, it is clearly visible that there are highest, like around 66.7% of people who often come across digital marketing in their daily life. Social media is the most popular engaged medium, with 68.6% of consumers using it. And around 47.1% of consumers use digital marketing almost every day. In fact, 48% of influencers people get influenced by social media posts and find it's the most engaging contents. In fact, in the era of globalization, 57.8% of consumers have found digital marketing to be more effective than traditional marketing, and said so they found that sometimes digital marketing are more cheaper than traditional marketing. As we can see that people are getting benefits from digital marketing. It helps them to discover new products and services. It provides them with useful information. It saves the time and effort, and even it offers them better deals and discounts. Like if a system is having pros, then there must be having some cons too. So according to consumer, digital marketing lacks in some stages situations, like sometimes there are technological and technical issues, internet fraudulence are there, negative feedbacks and reviews, instability of internet services, through due to which sometimes people fluctuate and come across whether they should use digital marketing or not. In fact, many a times consumers step back with digital marketing due to fear of privacy, of the authenticity of the content. And there are around 43.1% who agreed with it. During the surveys, I was really curious to know that on which application people spend most of the time. And among that, it was Amazon, GP, and Myntra, and other listed as per the host. So the conclusion was that the overall opinion of digital marketing result was somewhat positive from the consumer's point of view. What were my findings? On taking all the possible surveys, like from Google Form surveys, the finding was that people are more reliable on digital marketing as it keeps engaging with different content and persuades them to buy it. During the telephonic interviews, the interviewer said that the digital marketing channels are efficient as the communication in the way of advertisement of such things which influence them to buy a product or download any applications, like social media posts or in-app ads and all these things influence them to download the app or buy something, or persuades or irritating of keep on advertisements too. So one of the interviewers has also said that digital marketing must be getting a good return on investment, because of nowadays people who are busy in life are getting adapted to technological tools and are really getting their hands on digital marketing. According to consumer, they feel that using online services give them around 24/7 services, that too without having to wait for too long. Consumers may evaluate the good, assess pricing, quality, and quantity while comfortably sitting at home, and then quickly purchasing the item as the best suits their needs. So if there are pros, then things to have cons too. According to consumers, they lack fundamental confidence in the standard of good they receive sometime, and irritating of advertisement of the same item from many sites are frequently shown. Conclusion: through my analysis and research, I came up with the conclusion that digital marketing has played a significant role in consumers' life, and though they are getting dependable on it. Analysis with graphs proves how effectively they are engaged with digital marketing content, and how it has made their life easier than before. While FGD with 7 common people who use digital marketing has said that how advantageous it is to get things by relaxing at home without standing in a long queue. You can easily book your tickets, or without having cash, you can easily pay. At the same time, few people have shown their negative approach towards digital marketing, by giving statements like getting defective products, stepping back due to bad reviews, improper workable applications, or false promises, etc. And the challenges were like instability of network, sometimes high technology, which people from the age group of like 45 nowadays, like the age of 45, they don't understand the high technologies. So they are in a learning stage, and facing frauds, etc. So these challenges sometimes change consumers' perception towards digital marketing. Digital marketing is an effective communication channel as the advertisement of product or any application done in the way of communicating about their product or services in the market.
Thank you. I think we can close here, Manasvi. I guess we got the gist of your paper.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manasvi. Thank you, Manasvi.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say that actually the topic of research that you have taken, it is too broad to conduct a study on, because I mean without conducting a study only, I think we can conclude your research. Of course, the people will go for digital marketing, and the major blunder that you have done in your abstract is you are talking about digital marketing, and then you are talking about your goal in the study is to learn how consumers perceive online marketing. So I mean, as a researcher, you should be clear of the difference between the digital marketing and online marketing. They both are not same. So you need to decide what your focus is on. And then rather than broadly talking about digital marketing, you could focus on one aspect of it, or maybe pick up a brand and work on that. Because this is too vast a topic to handle and to conclude anything.
Yes.
And the kind of questions that you have put in the questionnaire are also too generic. I mean, you would not get, those things, what you are expecting that you can get to know even before asking people, right? And you also mentioned that you did a focus group on the research topic. So you mean to say you did a focus group discussion and found out from people what is the perception about consumer?
Yes.
Perception of
Yes, ma'am. From there only I came to know that what are the merits, demerits, and what are the challenges sometimes they face, and why their perceptions change, why they switch from digital to traditional, or traditional ones switch to digital.
So better is if you want to compare traditional digital, you better focus on one particular aspect of it. Like maybe you choose one brand and then talk about it. That would be then you can gain more insight about the topic, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So next is the Priyanshi. Are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the next presentation is on by Priyanshi Pandey. The topic is digital influencers, the study of influencer marketing in the growth of fashion and beauty industry. Co-author is Dr. Arina, again from Amity School of Communication, Amity University, Lucknow. You can share your screen and start the presentation.
Yes. Is my screen visible?
Please start, and please take only 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Priyanshi, and today I'm going to present my research paper, which is on the topic Digital Influencers, the study of influencer marketing in the growth of fashion and beauty industry, which has been authored by me and co-authored by Dr. Arina Zainab Mirza. So influencer marketing, basically it refers to the strategic collaboration between brands and digital influencers who promote those products or services to their dedicated target audience through Instagram, through YouTube advertising, and like fashion bloggers and lifestyle influencers, they have created a vast array of content, product reviews and tutorials to showcase the latest fashion trends that are going on, by which their target audience easily gets influenced. So this study is aiming to explore the impact of influencer marketing on the growth of the fashion and beauty industry. These were some of my some of my research objectives. What influencers are having an impact on the growth of fashion and beauty industry through influencer marketing, exploring the methods that influencers are using in engaging with their target audience and developing their personal brands, examining the opportunities that are used to pose new trends faced by them, and assessing the effectiveness of digital influencers as a marketing tactic for beauty brands and fashion brands. Then for doing this research paper, I used some of the research papers which have been mentioned over here. The methodology that was used was quantitative methodology, and quantitative research methodology was used for the survey to do a detailed survey, and a questionnaire was made up, which was mix of open and closed questions for the sample size of 69 respondents. Coming to findings, it was found out that respondents agreed to that influencer marketing has an impact on the viewers' mind and is impacting the growth of the fashion and beauty industry. So looking at the first chart, it is showing the frequency of active social media users and they're learning about new fashion and beauty products. So out of total 69 respondents, 97.1% accounting for 97.1%, and 2 respondents from the age group under 18 accounting for 2.9%. Coming up to the second chart, it is showing the importance of influencers in consumer buying behavior, where 49.3% is showing that influencers have an importance in consumer buying behavior. Then as shown over here, influencer marketing has an impact on the purchase based on recommendation of an influencer or a blogger. Also, the media platforms that are being used by digital influencers is having an impact on the people to follow digital influencers and their buying and their consumer buying behavior. Looking at the chart, here it is shown that 55.2% respondents indicated that they perceive digital influencers as equally credible compared to traditional advertising methods, and 31.3% of the respondents stated that they perceive digital influencers as more credible. This chart can show the opinions of digital influencers versus traditional media outlets. And coming to the last one was that whether the digital influencers will continue to have an impact on the consumer buying behavior or not. So 91.2% people express that their belief is that the digital influencers will continue to have a big influence on how people shop in the fashion and beauty sectors, and which signifies a strong consensus among majority of sample that continues to have an influence of digital influencers in shaping consumer choices, whereas 8.8% represented a small segment of the sample who hold a differing opinion. Coming to the conclusion, this study's objective was basically to investigate how influencer marketing and digital influencers are having an impact on consumer buying behavior and what is the development of the fashion and beauty industries. So it was discovered that people are highly influenced by influencer marketing, and in the fashion and beauty industries, digital influencers have a big influence on how people buy things. A large majority of respondents in the survey indicated that digital influencers play an important role in their decision-making process, and they frequently rely on influencers before buying any product or considering any products or services. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyanshi. Ma'am.
Thank you, Priyanshi. My suggestion is that you are taking fashion and beauty sectors. You have chosen influencer marketing contribution in leading to the growth of fashion and beauty sector. So again, fashion and beauty sector is too broad. Which particular brand you are talking about, that will help you narrow down your research and can get you concrete results. So you should focus on particular brands. Even you can be more specific when you go to which influencer you are talking about, maybe. So either you choose the influencers and then talk about it, or choose the brands and then talk about it. Then you can get concrete results, because otherwise it is too vast to handle. The kind of questions that you are putting, again, they will bring out the results which are more generic. And in the abstract, you had mentioned large sample size. So it's better you mention the exact sample size rather than putting it as large sample size. Okay. Yeah, I think with little bit of modifications, you can come up with a good one.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So our next presenter for the day is Ritika Sharma and Tanya Arya from Amity School of Communication. Their topic is to Amity University, Lucknow. The topic is to study an impact of memes on viral marketing strategies. Ritika?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Please share the screen.
Yeah, just let me know when it's visible.
Can you just ensure that there is no sound around you, otherwise we'll not be able to
Yeah. Am I audible and visible?
You're audible, your presentation is visible, but I still request that make sure that there's no sound around you.
Yeah.
Start.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ritika Sharma, and I'll be presenting my research paper on the topic of the impact of memes on viral marketing strategies. So first of all, I did explore on the term meme as what it actually means. Basically, meme is a cultural idea or expression that is exchanged from one person to another. Basically, it can also hop from one culture to another culture as well. For example, we see most of the Bollywood memes going to the foreign countries as well. So foreign countries are also exchanging our memes, like memes related to our culture with their friends and family. And memes have also proved to be a popular form of viral content over all social media platforms. Memes can be in every form, not only just a particular picture, but it can also be in the form of a video or a GIF or just a text. And I have also focused on meme marketing. Now, meme marketing is also called meme jacking, and it is basically use memes in order to promote their brands or particular products or services. Now, I have also referred to these research papers, which are based on similar topic, for example, memes. And the research papers have concluded that memes are very much helpful in for brand recognitions and for creating a brand visibility and promoting the research paper was to measure the impact of memes on various marketing strategies, explore the effectiveness of meme marketing strategy for increasing brand engagement and brand visibility, and also how consumers react to memes and how their immediate reaction is when they encounter a particular meme. If there's what they do is whether they share a particular meme or whether they just like it or they just save it. So that was these were my objectives for the research. And the methodology that I used, the first method that I used was I created a questionnaire and then I circulated to people around the age of 15 to 40. And then the other method that I used was, as mentioned earlier, I referred to some of the research papers, and I also went through specific brands like Zomato, Netflix, Tinder, and Brand Factory, memes as a method to promote their brands, their brand and their products or their services. So these are the results. The first question that I asked was that how were they exposed to memes, and how often were they exposed to memes? And 36 to 38.6% of people said that they were exposed to memes quite often, and they share memes sometimes, and they were mostly exposed to memes on Instagram instead of Facebook, Facebook, WhatsApp, and all of that. Most of them were encountering memes on Instagram itself, and their immediate reaction when they encounter any viral meme was like, and then whenever they used to encounter a relatable meme, they used to share with friends because they used to relate a particular meme with their daily lives, and that's why it helped the brands to create a particular bond and to connect with their target audiences. Then I have also asked my target audience as to if what do they feel about brands using this viral marketing strategy of using memes, and they think that the brands use this particular method to seek attention, which is true because brands grab attention of their particular targeted audience to make people aware about their products and services. Netflix has been using memes a lot related to their new series. For example, they used memes using some shorts of Stranger Things, Wednesday, and all of that. And I have also asked like which brand you think uses the viral marketing strategy, including memes, the most. And according to the survey done, it has been shown that around 49.1% of people think that Zomato uses this particular method the most. And the findings that I've received is that the target audience brands actually help. When a particular brand uses meme as viral marketing strategy, it actually helps them to generate engagement, which leads various brands to incorporate memes and their viral marketing strategy. And through the survey done, it clearly shows that people are very much familiar to memes, and they connect with the memes quickly because it is relatable. And another impact of memes on viral marketing strategy is the capacity to increase the engagement and interaction with audience. When we open a meme on Instagram, we see the caption and we also see the comments there. So that's how people engage with the meme, and it also helps in brand recognition. So it gets stored in people's mind that okay, this was the particular of this particular brand. So it really helps brands in the brand recognition and engagement. And in conclusion, it has been shown that there is a great impact of memes on viral marketing strategies, and it helps various brands to engage their targeted audience and reach a wider audience, especially on social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Ritika. Thank you so much. I request Chair to give her feedback.
Thank you, Ritika. So interesting topic on memes. I think you must have enjoyed it thoroughly. Did you take the marketer's perspective also, or you limited your study only to the consumer perspective?
I have also went through particular brands, as I mentioned, Netflix and Tinder, Zomato, and Rappi. So I study on how do they use their how do they use this particular method as a means to promote their brand or their products or services. So I went through various memes and went through various posts on Instagram as well. So Netflix has been using memes a lot, and Zomato as well. So I did.
So, you did only survey, or as you said, Netflix, Zomato, and all, you did a content analysis of the feeds which had gone viral?
Not exactly the content analysis, but I did go through the posts that has been done by various brands, And also I also referred to some articles as to how they used these particular methods and why do they use these methods.
So, in 2 lines, can you suggest what are the findings of your study?
First of all, so I did explore that the impact of memes is really effective, especially on brands and consumers as well, because it is a very entertaining way for brands to promote their services and for consumers to to gather that information and to connect with the brand. So it's a very entertaining, easy way.
Okay, okay. I mean, what I mean to say is that your study can be more fruitful if you take both the marketer's perspective and not stick alone to the consumer perspective. Because here, that you are saying that memes work, if it comes out from the marketer's side, then the study would be more impactful, right? Or maybe you have done a content analysis in terms of you have the data to show that so many studies have been done and they have worked well, right?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable inputs.
Thank you so
Before I
much.
announce the next presentation, I just want to give one information. There is a parallel technical session going on, chaired by Dr. Pallavi Majumdar. And the theme of that session is News and Entertainment Media, Contemporary Trends and Perception of the Audience. So if any paper presenter by any chance is in the session, I would request them to go to the another link which I've shared in the chat box. I regret the inconvenience in case you are facing problem with the joining link, but the link is in the chat box. So we continue with our presentation. Next presenter in line is the topic Deepak Dhariwal, research scholar, and Dr. Pooja Rana, Professor, Amity School of Communication, Amity University, Haryana. The topic is Impact of Digital Advertising on Consumer Buying Behavior, a study of buying online courses in India. Deepak, can you just switch on your camera?
Yes, ma'am.
You can, yes, good afternoon. You can just start sharing the screen.
Yeah, ma'am, just a sec.
It is visible. You can start the presentation.
Okay, okay.
Please focus on the objectives, methodology, and conclusion.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. So my name is Deepak Dhariwal. I'm a research scholar at Amity School of Communication, Amity University, Haryana. And the paper is co-authored by Dr. Pooja Rana, Professor, Amity School of Communication and Amity University, Haryana. So my topic is impact of digital advertising on consumer buying behavior. Basically, it's a study of buying online courses in India. Table of content, introduction, research design and methodology, research and result and discussion, and conclusion. So basically, as we all know, the growth of e-commerce in India has been attributed to many things, including population growth with more people access to 4G and 3G internet connectivity, increasing smartphones and digital device use, and the viability of more online products. And India is gradually gaining a foothold as the leading economy in Asia Pacific region, with e-commerce being one of the leading industries. And digital advertising communication is in the business world. The application includes lead generation, audience targeting, and obviously generating revenue for the businesses. So this is a basic graph of Indian internet users. So we are the second largest after China. So it's a huge market. And this is the interactive advertising model. Basically, how consumer searches something and how advertisers shows those ads and then the effect of those ads on consumer. So basically, it's the basic model on which I worked. The objective of the study is to study. The study aims to review the literature on the function of online media in selling courses. The study would suggest the strategies for implementation to digital advertisers, marketers, public relation personals, educational corporate communicator, and content writer, especially in post-COVID era. Research design and methods. In this paper, I performed the systematic literature review by using Prisma approach. A systematic literature review has two main steps: pick inclusion criteria and select repositories and papers. The study allowed the the study followed the Combel collaboration user group approach for selecting the research papers. The study adopted the inclusion criteria approach as well. Research paper title, subject area, and review time frame. It categorizes the inclusion criteria into three main parts, such as the followings. The research articles related to the impact of media published, basically its time frame is between 2000 to 2021 were included in this search criteria. Existing literature from the field of digital media, media studies, and online advertising were taken into consideration. The areas were selected as per the objectives and scope of the undertaken study. Research, database, and article selection. Basically, I used two main library. One is the Elsevier Scopus and Web of Sciences were used to gather the papers. The word digital advertising and online courses were kept constant for all the searches, as these are the main goals for the paper. The other word combination were used along with the this particular searches is online media and education, academic blogs, digital media in education, Asian media and online education, digital media and advertising, online websites and consumer, and online advertising and educational courses consumptions. So basically, based on all these, searches, I have identified 164 potential research articles through database search. So 13 were excluded because it was the duplicate papers. 151 articles reviewed on the basis of title and abstract. 95 articles excluded. So for 58 titles, 58 titles of the articles, 27 abstract of the articles, based on the abstract of the articles, and 9 duplicate articles. 57 were reviewed in detail by by the researcher, or 39 record excluded. And 16 articles were included finally. Results and discussion. Basically, it categorized into three main areas: consumer behavior in digital environment, consumer behavior in buying online courses, digital communication as an advertising tool. So this is the table basically I have created based on the research papers. So the conclusion of this table is basically digital advertising strategies are prevalent in today's business landscape. Of course, strategies include search engine optimization, search engine marketing, SEM in short form, content marketing, influencer marketing, and email marketing and direct marketing as well. Technological advancement and online advertising have created a synergy between the consumer and the advertiser. This synergy has led to increasing adoption of digital advertising strategies. Digital advertising plays a pivotal role in driving the digitization process within India's digital economy. It facilitates the growth and success of business operating in digital era. Finding and underscore the significance of digital advertising in shaping the contemporary business landscape. Digital advertising contributes to economic growth in digital era. This is the second major area where I have selected 10 papers. And the conclusion of this table, the conclusion of all these 10 papers is basically, it shows that, prioritize retail customer satisfaction. Basically, the advertisers need to prioritize all, the customer satisfaction, acknowledge the unpredictable nature of brand success in rural India. Basically, they have to understand that in rural areas, the brand success is, very unpredictable. Recognize the internet as a contemporary online shopping platform. So basically, everyone need to recognize that, okay, this is another way of, because not everybody is, comfortable selling courses online. So everyone should consider this as the, major platform right now, because after pandemic especially. Leverage the impact of advertisement on consumer behavior, understand consumer characteristics and decision making, address protection and privacy concerns of Indian online consumer. Basically, people are very much concerned about the, especially the privacy and all. Adapt to digital marketing strategies like right platforms and which platform will work for your, target audience. They have to figure out this first, and they have to target the audience based on the demography and all. And the content should be relatable.
Please conclude your presentation.
Okay. So then based on third table, these are the findings. Internet, mobile devices, and social media enables access to the knowledge and entertainment information. Digital advertisement cater to different personality type, of course. Some customers rely on public advertisement and personal knowledge. Online media influences consumer behavior through emotions and cognitive process. So the overall conclusion is basically, all these findings of the study in the form of consumer behavior over buying online courses will certainly benefit the Indian e-commerce companies in attracting the attention of the local consumers towards their platform for generating maximum revenue and refining the profits of basically, the country within the economy for providing certain stability and growth opportunities to the same. So yes.
Thank you. Dr. Pooja, your comments.
Deepak, thank you for presentation.
Yes,
I just want to know, I fail to understand, the topic is a study of buying online courses in India. And while I was seeing your research, it was based on, the more analysis was of the review of literature. So I mean, I'm confused, like, what is it about? Did I misunderstand it?
Okay,
Yeah.
basically it's a review paper, ma'am, and I just used, that literature review as the, as the content analysis to find out what exactly we need to basically strategize and all that.
Okay, because the clarity is not there that it's a review paper and through that you want to achieve that. That is one thing. So if that is the case, then you need to mention it elaborately.
Okay.
And thing is that you are saying impact of digital advertising on consumer buying behavior. Are you wanting to say digital advertising or digital marketing? Because again, your research says something else, your topic says something else.
Basically, it's digital marketing strategies, and
because you are mentioning about SEO, SEM, and all.
Yeah.
But here the topic says digital advertising, so that's why again I was confused. What do you want to achieve? Okay, so just figure that out.
Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Akshat. Thank you so much. Sorry, Deepak. So next presentation is from Akshat, right? Akshat Chopra. So Akshat Chopra, research scholar under Dr. Mehek Jonjua from Amity University, Noida. So we have an Amity special session today. Noida, Bihar, Manisar, everybody's here. So we have the topic is scientometric and bibliometric analysis of corporate communication research from 2000 to 2021. Will you be sharing? Yes, please start.
Yeah, so very good afternoon, everyone. Respected chair, co-chair, convener, fellow presenters, and research enthusiasts. I, Akshay Chopra, I'm a practitioner of corporate communications as well, apart from being a research scholar. And I, along with Dr. Mehak Jonjua, Assistant Director, ASCO, have conducted this study, which is unique in its term that it has been conducted in the Indian landscape, and it's a reflection of the research trends. So this is a fact sheet which tells about the whole research in a summary. So there has been enhanced research interest and increase in corporate communication activities, as we know, as people tend to develop sustainable relationships with the organizations through the practices of corporate communications. And this creates the necessary grounds for the need for research in this important field. And there have been efforts to study trends and developments by scholars such as Elving in 2010, Veltrin and Nardo in 2013. And they have called for trend analysis researches have gained traction. So the organizations are mandated to constantly communicate with stakeholders, and they have to keep abreast with the latest trends and information. So they cannot work in silos without considering any academic activity. So this paper also provides them a comprehensive and useful insight into the global activities of research. So the close and dedicated reading into the works of this field also provide a window for innovation and exploration. And this also facilitates scientific inquiry and is a powerful tool for social actors, as has been said by various international researchers. Our objective was to analyze trends of growth of publications, study the countries contributing to the field of corporate communication, study top organizations and journals, analyze their relationships, the co-occurrence of keywords, the annual growth rate, the relative growth rate, doubling time of publications, and to find out the degree of collaboration of research on corporate communication. So we followed a very methodological and systematic approach for our study. We mined data from Scopus database, where we gave the term corporate communication, and further it resulted in 1808 documents, which were further refined to ascertain the absence of other types of publication in an analysis. Out of this, 525 journal publications were not relevant to the present study, so they were kept out of it. And we had a corpus of 1,148 documents, which are part of this study. And the process of collection of the records and elimination for this purpose of the study have been condensed at figure 1. So coming to the results and discussion. So it is evident from this figure that publication frequency was less during the period 2001 to 2003. However, it saw a rise next year with a slight dip in the corresponding year, following gradual path of rise in amount of publications during this course. Also, the frequency of publication was highest in 2019, as can be observed. And this showcases that there has an enhanced trend for research in corporate communication area in the recent period from 2017 onwards. And cumulative accruing plot, which, as we can see, showcases that there has been an active research activity in this subject, and trends suggest that we are in the growth phase of research in corporate communication. Further, we looked at countries. So 1148 documents from 70 countries were analyzed. So much of the research activity in the field has been accelerated from United States and United Kingdom. There are 14 countries generating only one paper each. And what we have done is we have also correlated it with the GDP rank of these particular countries. So it is evident from the stats that these countries, that there were 48 countries publishing at least 3 documents. And with the link strength of 514, USA collaborated with the United Kingdoms, South Korea, Canada, France, and many more. And with a TLS score of 227, Denmark was third in collaborative research. The analysis also showcases that US and UK have been pioneers in collaborating for research with other countries during the millennium. Coming ahead, further top organizations which have been publishing more than 3 documents in field of corporate communication were identified in table 2. The analysis showcased that 18 organizations had published at least 3 documents, and B. Norgiven Business School, Norway, had published 10 documents gathering 112 citations. So out of 1926 authors, 24 authors met the threshold of minimum 5 documents for co-authorship analysis, and their analysis helps us understand the clusters and brackets of scholars working in the subject area. It is gauged by looking at the relationships reflected at figure 5. And the authors publishing 5 or more documents were factored in and were seen. It was evident from the documents of Thompson and Elving and Goodman that they were more impactful than others. However, interestingly, as you can see, Melliver TC is ranked 11 and Zarfas A is ranked 17 with an average citation of 22.6 and 12.92 respectively, indicating that though they are prolific researchers with commendable networking and collaboration skills, somehow their research outcomes have not been impactful. Through the density visualization, we can see that corporate communication has been frequently used. Keywords were manually screened, so the relevant words to the study are selected for generating density visualization map management. And so there was a good correlation, as we can see, between public relations, corporate communication, communication management, corporate image, cross-cultural management, and the relationship is important. Therefore, we thought that these variables are pertinent to corporate communication study. And from the sources and citation relationship, we could see that there was, we could indicate that there are preferred pertinent journals publishing articles in this particular field. So the preferred choice is Corporate Communication Journal with 229 publications. The second spot was for Journal of Communication Management, and third for PR review. Highest cite score was for Journal of Business Ethics, which indicates the highest level of citation. To assess the productive relative indicator, we make use of the formula given by Grasses and calculate the AGR of the publications. So according to Kumar and Kalyapurulam, it is an effective method for calculation of growth on an annual basis. So as can be seen, the production levels have dipped and risen intermittently, and it has seen a jump of 14.49 in 2021. The maximum AGR was achieved in 2004, followed by 2006 and 2008. That is 43.24. And it can be observed that RGR value, that is relative growth rate value, has decreased from 0.48 in 2001 to 0.07 in 2021. The doubling time has witnessed an increase from 1.44 in 2001 to 9.90 in 2021, which was the highest similar value in 2020. So the collaboration degree of publication in the arena was enumerated through a formula given by Subramaniam in 1983. So this figure showcases the collaboration degree variance from 0.58 to 0.78, and it can be observed that of 0.81 and the highest amounts of multiple author documents are discovered at countries that economically developed nations have progressed in research on corporate communication. However, it is the Western and the Scandinavian countries that are leading, while the Asian countries are yet to match up to their levels. Through the mapping keywords, co-occurrence variables, and terms that have been used in relation with corporate communication studies, we could see a CAGR of 5.18% throughout the study period and AGR of 14.49 in the last year of publication related to the subject. So the relative growth rate has decreased since then. We could see that the study concludes that there has been a lot of corporate communication research activity going on, and we are still in the growth phase. So there is,
Facebook, Twitter, Insta.
Yes, ma'am. The divisions were Facebook, Twitter, Insta, YouTube, news websites of all varieties put together, and then online forums of various varieties and others. So these were the 7 heads under which preferred media for gathering political information were divided. 7 heads these were.
So one was this. So you have taken, in terms of your research methodology, you have taken only the survey you have done amongst youth, or other than that, any other methodology you have followed?
Only survey, ma'am. 150 respondents, age 18 to 35. Purposive sampling, survey-based methodology only to collect data, that's how it went, ma'am.
Okay, and I believe it's I believe it's a PhD research. It's a PhD research.
Part of that, ma'am.
Part of that. So in that case, probably otherwise also, what I believe is that content analysis could also be added. Maybe, when we are saying political decisions are taken, so do we have particular content about which we are talking about? or generally whatever is posted there, and people are influenced just like that. So it doesn't convey much. Because if you ask me, okay, did I read the post and I'm influenced by it? Maybe, maybe not. Which post are you talking about? So, I mean, it doesn't give us the clarity in that sense. So it's good if we know, while we're talking about the political decisions, you are talking in terms of expressing the viewpoint, you are talking in terms of voting decision. So, I mean, if the political decision is also operationally defined as part of the research and elaborated upon and then worked upon, then it would make better sense. This is my suggestion. Yeah.
Surely, ma'am. They were not a part of this paper, but there were
yeah,
like
that is why maybe you have taken only
political
one
current
aspect.
issues.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Like protests
Excellent.
and opinion polls and all those. I have
Yes.
taken care of that.
Yes.
Yes,
Great. Great, sir. Thank you.
thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
so
My
much.
apologies. I had a bad network here. I'm back in the session. So we have a last presentation, ma'am. This was not sent to you. It's a lateral entry from other, session to this. Suruchi, are you here? You can switch on your camera.
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Okay, so Suruchi, because your abstract ma'am has not seen, so just, you have to give an introduction in the starting so that she knows, what it is about. I'll just read out the title. OTT, a disruptive force, changed the entertainment landscape. Suruchi Shirish, a research scholar from Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad, co-authored by Dr. Kiran Bala, professor at the same university. Over to you, Suruchi.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to all. So, ma'am, I just introduce my topic. Shall I share my screen or it's visible now?
Yes, you can start.
Okay. So, ma'am, this paper is about the new technology, entertainment technology, which has come for media and in the entertainment industry, and the paper focuses on trying to find out the reasons of the popularity of OTT platform in comparison with linear television viewing. And with digitalization of technology, we have find how this has changed the media and entertainment industry to a great extent, especially in past few years, and where audience is shifting to OTT platform, and which is becoming a more preferred choice. Earlier, so just 4 or 5 years back, it was considered as a luxury to to watch content on OTT platform, but it is now becoming more and more popular because few of the reasons why improved internet connectivity and high penetration of mobile networks. So this particular topic is about telling about to finding the research sharings of how OTT providers are looking at the competition facing from the linear television from which has been operating in country, to look at the what are the technical differences are there in their operating when it comes to consuming media from that, how it is bypasses the earlier way of watching entertainment. So OTT which bypasses the cable broadcast and satellite television, and which generally acts on controller, and which has reduced or you can say the disintermediation of somebody, and now directly we are connected to the producer and to the consumer fact. So the content creators can interact with their audience directly through web pages, or or through their smartphone applications, and which is giving the comfort viewing to whether it is movie or short form videos, or it is music, or entertainment. So this was to look at this particular issue, and the objectives of my findings are to find the reasons of popularity of OTT platforms and how it has affected linear television, and to look at the tactics followed by the OTT providers and increase their consumers in India. And the third one is to find the future of streaming services and the growth factors in competition to linear television. And ma'am, the methodology is, basically for this study is qualitative in nature, based on review analysis, which will inquire the existing research findings and try to explore the main reasons, behind the popularity, and also investigate how the new technology has affected the traditional way of television watching into that. So the data, it says that, somewhere around we have 503 million users of over-the-top video platforms. This is a finding from the week which has been published. And in my research, for finding this, I have taken data from report from industry reports by Deloitte, Accenture, FICCI, and Capgemini on looking at how the OTT platform performance has been, and understanding, and also interviews by some of the leaders on understanding their present position and how the future strategies they are going to look into increasing their audience base in India. So to understand the difference between linear TV and OTT, the basic difference, it is basically the content delivery method, it is there. So which requires, some kind of predetermined schedule. So earlier it was with that, the audience has to be available at the particular TV channel at a specific time to watch a content, which the OTT has, erased that, and people are, watching the content at whenever, they have their own comfort, access to technology with internet connectivity, and yes, the compatibility with the devices. So while making digital, age different from its predecessors like linear television, so individual media users from, collective, they can, they are from the collective context of media ecology. So it is a difference, how the people have been watching content earlier in the older times and the coming to the new area. Definitely the segments of the content, or you can say when it comes to watching the content, it has been, improved comparatively from from what has been there in the linear television watching, and more creative in that sense we find. And those many of the content is borrowed also. Some of the findings has been, apart from being internet connectivity and comfort of, watching the content, has been that the content, which international content which comes, of availability of dubbing on the local language, basically making the content localized also, and subtitles also, bring it more audiences to watching this kind of content which is there on these platforms. So according to this Deloitte report, which published that there will be, smartphone users are going to be increased to 700 millions by 2022. And there will be, much higher demand when it comes to watching content on smartphones. Okay, I'll just conclude. So, ma'am, one of the findings, which from my study was that the technology which was considering, when I started this study, that this is a disruptive kind of technology, but in case of India, it has not affected much on that way, because the still, nearly 70% of Indian audience is still continuing with the linear television watching only. So the technology which has been considered as being more popular majorly in the cosmopolitan cities, it has not affected that much into the tier 2 cities as well as, rural India. Another finding is, post COVID, it found an increase in the, people going for, going for OTT platform watching, but they have started unsubscribing on from many of the platforms, now, and they are shifting to linear television watching. And the recent example, comes from this, from the recent IPL streaming, in which, which has found that, which was a strategically done by Jio as well as Hotstar. And Hotstar is, India's number one, the Star Group has been having topping, whether it is OTT platform or whether it is linear television watching coming. So when they, both of them, found that broadcast rights were taken by the Hotstar and the streaming was given by the Jio. Jio made streaming, free available across their apps, because this made it evident, they were facing competition from linear watching to that. So I conclude, ma'am. So India is, in case of when we talk about OTT platform consumption in India, despite having 40 different platforms in India, they are still facing a fierce competition when it comes to, you can say, the usual linear television services available in India from all these platform providers. And because of this, these OTT media providers are trying to develop more on the content and improvising on the services when it comes to increase their audience base in India.
Thank you, Suruchi. Dr. Pooja, I request your feedback.
Yeah, thank you, Suruchi. Interesting, topical. It is about OTT platforms. So it is interesting to know whatever data you have presented. I just want to know, while you're talking about OTT platform, you gave an example of IPL here. So while you're comparing the OTT platform with the linear viewing or appointment viewing, as we say, so you are taking all kinds of programs, or you are limiting to movies and soap operas and matches, you're bifurcating them as per the genres?
Ma'am, not taking all kinds of program, generally majorly on entertainment base. But
Okay.
when I was finding about, looking at the latest data, so this data came out, with an interview which was published by CEO of the Star Group, global CEO. And where, from that data, she, claimed that how the Star Group is, still in Asia is the number one when it even on the platform as well as linear television watching. And where, the data, in that data only, they, it was published that how Geo Cinema, being very, to increase their popularity, they made their, streaming free on the apps. And it was, they are facing the competition from the Hotstar in present time, which was got the broadcasting rights for the next 5 years, both groups. So in that scenario, I gave that example that, whether it is entertainment. Another thing was that the interview in the CEO, she has mentioned about that people are still watching linear content, linear television in India, because the content there is much more focused as compared to OTT platforms.
Okay, I mean, my suggestion is just that you need to just focus on particular dimension and then work on that, because as you gave the example, I felt it is deviated. I was not getting it that way.
Yeah.
And also, what is the research method you're using for this?
Ma'am, I'm using review analysis, basically quantitative, whatever present reports and journal research papers are there. I'm taking
Okay,
data.
it's a review paper.
Review analysis.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I skipped one name in between because of this signing out. This Aman Kumar Singh.
Yes.
11 number. So
yeah, he's there.
He's here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Title is Factors Influencing Consumer Buying Behavior on Electric Vehicles, EVs in India. Aman Kumar is here, and this paper is co-authored by Dr. Mohammed Faisal, Assistant Professor, Amity University, Lucknow. Aman?
Yes, ma'am.
You can start your screen and...
Is my screen visible?
Yes. Not the presentation, the other screen is... Yeah. Okay. You can start.
Yes, ma'am. So basically, my topic was what are the factors that is changing a consumer behavior on electric vehicles. And this is not the first time that electric vehicle has come up in the market, especially after the COVID era. But before all these COVID and other years, we must be aware about Yo bikes. It was the first electric bike which was introduced in India. But at that particular point of time, people were not ready to accept all kind of electric vehicles. Reason being the charging issue, the charging station, the total number of range, the speed, and many other things were coming up in between buying all these kind of electric vehicles. But after a few years, or we can say after a good time, that people got to know that yes, electric vehicle is useful for them. But the main thing is that it's not, we can't say totally that it is useful to them. Many people are choosing electric vehicle because of peer pressure. Many are choosing because it's trendy. Other who are aware, they are going with the flow, or otherwise they are just simply ignoring that particular electric vehicle thing. But the main thing is that there are many initiatives which has been done by government. Along with that, even the manufacturing unit is making some changes to get the best of the range, the different charging station, and much more. But is this the matter by which you and I are going to buy that electric vehicle? No, absolutely not. It will vary from person to person, and for same person it may vary from time to time. Suppose we are in a group, especially with our peer groups, then if electric vehicle is the hot topic on that particular group, you'll have that mind, yes, let's buy electric vehicle. But the moment you have that particular concept key, it's expensive, because in compared, like for, let's take an example of Tata Tigor, it's the hard price is 8.35 in petrol, and for electric version it's almost 12 to 13 lakh rupees, which is huge in amount. And even the government is giving subsidies, but that is not that useful, because it's only for 1.5 to almost 2. But another thing, that it until unless there is complete development, we can't change any other thing. Now, we got the literature review done, in which the first research paper on which we had a complete study, which has clearly mentioned that most of the electric vehicle purchase, whether it's of bike or whether it's of car, it is because of the peer pressure or the peer group in which or with which we are staying with. Basically, we are buying because other one is flaunting his or her electric vehicle, whether it's scooty or other thing. Same thing has been said in this particular thing, that the main influence is of the peer group, not of your own decision. Then another one comes up with that the factor of purchasing is dependent upon the competitor and the market in which we are working on. Like in their research, they have said that there are many and multiple brands which has come up in this electric vehicle session, like BMW, Audi, then this one Mercedes, and other brand as also, like recently Volvo has come up with X6 hybrid, and also the electric version as well. These are the big brands, they are the big giant, but still they are coming into EV to grab the market. But there is a big but over here, and that is that they have to grab the market by making the people aware, which most of the brand is not doing it, that they are not making their customer aware that what are the benefits, because you have to change the mind. Then the third one was that how people are going to change it. In this research, they have clearly mentioned that for complete 5 years, people are not going to accept electric vehicle in the market, because they are used to diesel and petrol cars. Even they have also said that people who are using diesel car, they are not satisfied the petrol car because of the sound. And in electric vehicle, when people don't feel any kind of sound, they feel irritated, because that sound of a car gives them a particular comfort into it. Then the last thing is about the technology advancement, that if electric vehicle in India is making any other changes and bringing more charging station, giving more subsidies, giving other beneficial product and other thing, more fame, discount and other thing, then people might choose your electric vehicle over petrol or diesel or CNG cars. Now, for getting the research data, we have done a survey. Then we have done few experiment, like we have given different kind of electric vehicles to different customers, especially of the college group, and those were from MIT University as well. We made them drive the diesel car, the petrol car, and the EV car. And the best thing which we like, that most of us were into diesel car because of the sound, and electric vehicle everyone was rejecting it because of the sound issue, that they don't feel that comfort into it. Now, we also observed, we got in touch with many people who were the customer of EV. Like we had a talk with Mosaji Group. They are into Bounce Infinity electric scooter. Then we got in touch with Najish Ahmed, she the manager of Okaya Bihar division for electric vehicle. Then we also got in touch with Mosaji Kia, which is into Kia cars, and they have a new launch of Kia EV6. Then also we got data from them about the leads and the existing data which they were having, and then we did all the content analysis, that what exactly would be the conclusion for us. Now, what the finding which we had, that government is presenting different kind of schemes so that people come to different electric vehicle dealership and they get into buying all these electric vehicles. But recently there is a change into their plan. Now they have said that the FAME is a portal where all the electric subsidy has been done by government. Now the government has said that if your parts are up to 85 to 90% manufactured in India, then only you'll get subsidy. Otherwise, you won't get any kind of subsidy over there. So, which is the main thing that people might shift again to all those petrol and diesel cars. Now, the costing is much more. People have said that they don't want to go for EV because it's too costly. Even we have said that in terms of regular usage, is much cheaper. Then they said that no, at one time was it's too expensive, and by managing all the stuff, we can't say that we will go for EV. Then the another issue is for range. The people who are into long drive and other things, they have that issue. They don't get many charging station, and the range is hardly up to 500 to 600 kilometers. Like recently, Mahindra is coming up with new X UV, and they'll be giving up to 750 kilometer range on a single charge. But still, if people wants to go from Delhi to suppose Manali, which is approx 1000 kilometers, then they have to look for different charging station. They can't go at a one go, which they can do it in a petrol or diesel car. Then performance and driving, as I have told earlier, that people are not satisfied with the features and other thing, because that satisfaction is not over there what they have or in the diesel or petrol car and bikes. Then another brand reputation, because recently in the EV market, there are multiple and n number of brands competing with each other in the market. And the main important thing is that people are not able to choose that which brand to go with. Like Ola has come up with the superb campaign in which they are able to enroll all the people over there, and with which they are able to sell all the things. And this is the main thing, that like Ola, other brands should play the same game if they want to exist in the market. Otherwise, there are many brands like Hero, Okaya, and other things. And the main conclusion is that the pricing is the main thing. Then people have that charging, that station issue, then driving and other performance issue, that they are not getting that satisfaction. Another thing that few people think that yes, it's eco-friendly, another thing. And the last but not the least, which is that if the main thing is that about the trust. If you don't trust a person, you will not tell everything, or you won't go with him or her. Same thing goes for a brand. If you can't trust a brand, then obviously you're not going to select any of their product. Now, the limitation of this research was that we have a very limited source, because EV customer are very less in the market. And then people have a different concept changing from time to time and place to place, which was the main thing. People have their self biases reporting to a particular brand and another thing. Then what the main thing was that there are not much number of literature review for us to have the all detail over there. And here the reference from where I got the idea about making the research. And this is what I have done so far. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aman, and I'm sorry I missed your name. Ma'am, Dr. Pooja.
Yeah, thank you, Aman. By the way you are presenting, looks like you're very passionate about this topic and passionate about electric vehicles.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I have a keen interest in automobile sector. That's why.
Ah, okay. No wonder. I was curious to know, did anyone talk about the environment factor as, like, I mean, did majority say about it, or
no, ma'am? No, ma'am. Only people from the dealership say that it's eco-friendly and you should go with that EV sector.
So that's an interesting angle, because I believe when it comes to buying, people look at the price.
Yes, ma'am.
Like, my suggestion is that otherwise you have dealt into the factor. What I suggest is that in terms of the abstract, the way you have presented the abstract, it's like you should go and look at the standard way how the abstract is to be written. So that has to be rewritten. One thing is, one suggestion is that. Second thing is that in terms of the research methodology, because you are trying to study the factors, you can also use factor analysis for your study. That can be done. And third thing is that you should also try to relate it to the model. Like as a researcher, it's important that we relate it to a theoretical framework. So these are the suggestions which I want to give.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, all the presenters. And I really feel that Dr. Pooja has given really important inputs. And if all the scholars will incorporate those changes, it will improve their paper, but it will also improve the way, a scholar should learn. So this session was actually, thank you, Pooja ma'am. I really like the way you have given time and detailed inputs, feedback to everyone, which is like very rare. We hardly seen such presentation. We had 12 presentations in this session, and with a lot of patience, you have given feedback to everyone. The topics picked up by the scholars were actually, they are contemporary, they have a wide scope. So I really wish you all luck. I suggest that you all keep doing good work, keep writing, and keep learning. So back to the anchors, Ayush.
Thank you, ma'am. With this, we come to the conclusion of this session. Before I formally thanks everyone, I request everyone to turn on their camera for a group photograph.
I don't know how many presenters are left because it was a really long session and many of them have, I can see that very few are there now. But whosoever is there, please. I've given rights to everyone. I can see some of the professors were also here, if they are still here. Asha ma'am, Mitali, anyone who, please, we can have a group photograph, Sandeep.
Yes, ma'am.
Done, thank you.
Done, ma'am. Thank you.
Ayush.
Now, I would like to thank Dr. Pooja Mahesh, Associate Professor, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Dubai, for their valuable time and sharing their experience with us. I extend my gratitude to the management and leadership team of DME. Heartfelt thanks to Dr. Amrish Saxena for his guidance, Dr. Susmita Bala for giving us direction and support at every stage of the conference. Special thanks to the faculty members and staff of DME Media School for executing all the session. I would also like to thank the production and the technical team for providing the technical support. Special thanks to the newsletter and media coordination and social media team for the coverage of the event. I would also like to thank the designing team for creative support. I also wish to thank the administrative staff of DME. A special thanks to our conference partners, knowledge partners, international partners, and media partners. The recording of all the session of ICAN6 can be accessed through our official YouTube channel, DME TV, and follow our social media handles, ICAN page, DME page. The best paper of the previous session is Developing Social Media and Promotion Strategies for Brand Mora, a study on hand block printing of Wangru village, Jaipur, presented by Divya Sharma, student, and Dr. Ritika Saxena, assistant professor, National Institute of Fashion Technology, Panchkula. The best paper of this session will be announced in the next technical session. The next technical session will be a panel discussion on cultural identities and cinema moderated by Mr. Praveen Nagra, Festive Director Cultural, and Kid Cinema Mumbai on Zoom at 7:30 p.m. Till then, I, Ayush Sharma, along with my co-host, Arunima Rawat, would like to take your leave. Stay tuned for many such exciting sessions at ICAN6. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.